Sydney Lyons is a senior at the University of Connecticut who has a generous heart. She started fostering dogs her freshman year of college in hopes to give these dogs a better chance of getting adopted and a better life. Today we sit down with Sydney and her 19th foster dog Toby to hear her story.
Hi, my name is Sydney Lyons. I'm 21 years old. I'm a senior at UConn, and this is my 19th foster dog, Toby. Toby's around 2, we think. He came to me, he was around, we think 1 or 2, so he might be 1.5 by now. Toby came from Tennessee, so most of my dogs have come from Tennessee because they have a really high euthanasia rate in all of the shelters. So Toby was in one of the worst shelters they have in the area, where he was really only let out to pee like maybe for 5 minutes a day, so most of the time they're just in a tiny crate and they're peeing and pooping on themselves, and it's just a really horrible environment. And I think he was there for about 4 or 5 months, and he got to a point where he was so depressed that he stopped eating, and he was just like on the brink of death because you could see all of his ribs, and just he lost so much weight that the shelter called my rescue, and they were like, "You need to save this dog, he's about to die because he's so depressed down here." And so my rescue scooped him up and then sent him to me right away. So originally, I think I was a sophomore here at UConn, and I always wanted to foster, but I didn't really know how. I had my mom growing up like sign up for fostering, but we never did it because they were like too nervous. And so then I decided to apply one summer to be a foster for this rescue that my roommate introduced me to, and she'd fostered just a couple dogs. And so my parents went out of town for the night, and it was called Pack Leaders of Connecticut, and they're in Manchester. And so when they left for the night, most kids would like throw a party, but I just went to the shelter and I was like, I'll take that one. And I brought this dog home, and I only had him for a night, and he got adopted the next morning. That was my first time fostering, and then by the end of that summer I think I had 10 dogs total. Each I only had for about like 1 week or even just a night. My longest was maybe 2 weeks. And then I just stopped when I got back to school because I was on campus. So then I was on Facebook one day when I was living off campus here at UConn. And I was on Facebook and I found this rescue called Mutt Mafia, and they posted it was just called like the urgent list from the shelter they rescue from, and they basically said like, we're euthanizing 12 dogs in the morning, we really need someone to come in and like foster, because fostering saves lives, they always write that. And so then I just messaged them and I was like, I know you're in Tennessee, I'm in Connecticut, if you can get a dog to me, like send me one, just save one, I don't care. And so then they responded, and I told them what I needed. They're really good about that. So I'm like, I need a housebroken dog, I'm in an apartment, it needs to be quiet, like it can't be too noisy, he has to be dog friendly, people friendly, and I say my long list of things, and they were just like, yep, we have a dog for you. So they grabbed the dog out of the shelter, sent her to me that week. My new roommate for this year, and I started talking to a girl, and I was like, oh, I foster dogs, are you okay with that? And she said that she was fine with it. And so I decided, based off that, I could live with her, because if she said she wasn't okay with it, I probably wouldn't have lived with her. And so I don't expect her to do anything, but sometimes she'll ask like, oh, can I bring him on a hike? And that's totally fine. Like I always like sharing the love of dogs, but I would never force like the responsibility on someone else when I agreed to take them on. My parents were really hesitant when I told them that I was gonna start doing this at school. I think they get nervous with like me having a school load, and they were telling me like, but it's the winter, will you want to be walking a dog in the winter? And I was like, yes, dogs are my entire life, I don't care. Quickly, so I think Toby, after about a week, I was really attached to him, because when I first got him, you could see all of his ribs, as I said before, and he just he was terrified of life. He was so scared. I would bring him to Dunkin' Donuts, and he was so scared of everyone, but then by the end of the week, he just was a totally new dog. He was so excited. He would jump up on people because he thought he was getting treats at Dunkin'. He was starting to thicken out, and now he's a little chubby. But I think some dogs you get attached to quickly, but it tends to be where if you have them longer, it's definitely way harder to give them up. I consider dogs for anyone to be an emotional support. I think even if you need it, like some people really need it and other people kind of just can benefit, but I really do think most people can benefit from having a dog in their life. So whenever I've had like a long tiring day, I always come back and I know my dog's gonna greet me like so excited and just whining and jumping all over me. When I leave for maybe 10 minutes, I come back to the apartment, Toby acts like I haven't seen him in years. He gets so excited, he just cries and whines and spins around me. So I think it just like brightens anyone's day when they get to come into an apartment and have dogs come up to them and I mean, like this is so nice for me. I've had a long week, and it's really good to have just a dog by your side kind of and helping you through it.